Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host. It is the Football Connect. Anyway, hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we're back again with another one. And football is now back, people. Manchester City have started the new year amazingly, and Chelsea still keeps on crumbling. So many questions to ask. But anyway, we're going to talk about it in this video. Don't forget to do me a favor. Click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. The best way you support us here at TFC, because it's going to be exciting, people. We're going to be covering everything from the goals to the flow. From everything that happened, we're here for it. This is the reaction series, people. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's talk about what actually happened in the game. So, and I wonder, which one should I start with? Okay, let's start with the happy news. Manchester City wins against West Ham, and I have to say they win convincingly, even though in terms of playing in the ground, performing in the ground, they were over. West Ham actually played better than Manchester City, but yet scoring goals, being decisive, Man City won that competition. Savinho with an assist for Haaland's first goal, as well as an assist to a defender who actually scored an own goal. Then also we saw Kevin De Bruyne assisting Phil Foden to score a goal, and we saw Haaland scoring another goal. That is the best start Manchester City needed. Remember, people have been still asking questions, are still questioning if they are back, if they are performing to their level best, if they are doing what we are used to seeing from Manchester City. Well, they did answer those questions, and they showed up 4 goals which were scored at home, and I think they needed this more than any other team in the Premier League, really, because the nature of the competition is this. You have to keep competing, and Man City, they are very, very lower than the rest. They are really far away from where they should be, and they needed to show that confidence. They needed to show that they're actually there in the game. I actually want to cross-check something here. That's why you see me looking this side. They needed that victory, but West Ham did score a goal, but it came late. It was the gunman, I think it's called Ferko, the German guy is on who scored the goal, but they should have been goals. West Ham should have scored goals. Final touches, kicking the balls outside rather than taking the extra touch which was needed to help the team. Nkunku, what's his name? The guy that everyone actually wants to get from West Ham, Nkunku, yes. Kudus. What am I saying, Nkunku? Kudus. He was so wasteful at goal. You know, I was getting irritated watching him kicking the ball elsewhere, and I'm like, guy, the net is really empty here. Do something. Show that you are a football goal player. Score the chances. You want to go to the bigger teams. Show them that you are not just a stat pad. You can finish your chances. We have seen you score before. Why can't you do it this time? Is it difficult? What is happening? That extra touch that he needed, that skill, he was losing the ball easily. I think one of the balls that he lost actually led to Haaland's first goal. So you see how much, if you don't do well in the attack, how much it can affect the defense. But one thing we can all agree upon, West Ham needs to find a new manager, because they have signed so many players. They have the players. All the players are there. The people who can perform, who can do something, they are there. The problem with this team, and I think we are seeing it in HD, is they are just not finishing the chances that they're creating. They are just not moving the ball well. They are just not taking advantages of the stars that they have in the team. It was actually disappointing to watch that they were only trying to use Kudus as the only source of creating something going forward. But we have players like Samavi. He was one of the best players. In fact, he was the best player of the championship last season. Why can they get the best out of him? Also, the guy who was up front, the guy who scored the goal, he was one of the west players in Germany who were in the Euro, who were in the Euro 2024, even though I was not really sure what he was doing. But they cannot do something. They cannot help actually taking advantage. Because one thing I can tell you, even though the strike force of City was lethal, the defense was so weak. It could have been a breach. It could have been hurt. But yet, we saw and we keep seeing it time and time again. West Ham whenever they are playing with the team that demand them, that are giving them opportunity to do something, they are not. And I have to say, maybe when we look at it on the other side, maybe we can say Manchester City were lucky. The reason why I have to say is that they also had the same problem when they were playing against Leicester, and they managed to actually go through it. And they had the same problem today, and the manager just managed to get through it. And I just wonder, what do they need to do? They should improve in terms of how they tackle the games, how they actually go and try to get something out of the game. Because what they're showing us right now, they need to develop. Of course, we know that it's January transfer. We expect City to do some business. They need to get at least some players that can help them in terms of creating something. I know they won the game, the first game of January. I know, I saw it with my own eyes, but they are just not yet at that City position. Haaland has scored goals. He's very, very close to Mo Salah, by the way. He, in fact, is one goal away to be leveled with Mo Salah for the Golden Boot this season. And it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes on. Like, if he starts scoring, it's going to be interesting. These were two games, Leicester City and Westham. I'm happy City came out of those games with victories. I'm happy that they came out with winning. They were about to be beaten for the third time in a row at home, and the fact that they did not lose, that gives confidence to this team. That helps them to build something amazing. And anyone who was watching the game can be happy to see that there is direction, there is something that they can work on going forward. But that's where the good news ends. Let's come on the other side. Chelsea played against Crystal Palace. And if you remember, I said it on my preview show today. I told you that Chelsea look like they're lacking a bit of confidence. It looked like they're not really doing so well. And all the things that I said actually came out. We saw them struggle to beat this team that we were expecting them to beat. Because if I remember so well, in fact, I actually have to cross-check. Crystal Palace are number 15 in the Premier League. They are number 15. Their last 5 games of Crystal Palace, they've won, they have lost, they have won, and they have drawn. And that draw is against Chelsea. That tells you that they don't even have the confidence that we expect to see over Crystal Palace. But yet, I'm here to tell you that they stopped City, they stopped the Chelsea, who actually were on a title charge. Well, to be honest, the manager of Chelsea, the players, and some of the Chelsea fan bases said that they were not in the transfer window, so I don't really know where they're really going. In fact, I think that we're worried right now is that Newcastle Newcastle is very, very behind them. Newcastle can smell that they are very close to that top 4 spot. They know that they're very close, and of course they're gonna try to do whatever they can, but footy will always remain as footy, and we saw it today, and some things need to change from this Chelsea team. I want to say something. For people who have been saying, Moises Caicedo is better and better on Gravenberg, he's going to be doing what? Today, the way this guy was getting exposed by Crystal Palace, the way he kept on losing the balls, the way that Sanchez had to be the savior of the day for Chelsea so many times because he had lost the ball, that gives more questions rather than answers. That makes us question if he is really gonna be the guy who takes this team going forward. Because what we saw today, we were not really impressed. We asked so many questions. He has to show that he's the gunman. Even though he created, Jackson was on his wasteful end. He was really, really wasteful. This is the other guy that people were talking about, that he's one of the best and he will show, but somehow the confidence is gone. I don't know, is it because of what has been happening or what, but the confidence is not there. And we are seeing them struggling. So many people were coming after Mauricio Pochettino last season about how he was not able to get the best out of this team. Are we about to actually look at this situation and look at what is happening and actually admit that maybe it was not only Mauricio Pochettino's problem why this team was not performing, or maybe we have to say because of what we're seeing on the other side, and maybe that's the reason why they were not really performing, because they needed to get the victory. They needed to show that they deserve to be where they are in the top 4. They needed to show that they can go forward, this Chelsea team. This team was 4 points away from being top of the league just 2 weeks ago. Yet I'm talking to you right now, and Newcastle, that was 11 points behind Chelsea. I said this, that was 11 points behind Chelsea. I'm talking to you right now. They are just 1 point behind this Chelsea team. And I'm telling you, if they don't start winning games, it's going to be a problem. Because if you have not been really paying attention, if you have not really been seeing at what's happening here, this team, and this is actually the honest truth, this team only has 2 points in their last 4 games. That has to be a worry. To anyone who's watching football, to anyone who's analyzing what this team is doing, that has to be a worry, because they need to show something. They need to give the fan base something to believe in, because right now what they're offering, it's more questions rather than answers. They're giving so many questions to ask the people who are analyzing the ball, who are watching them play. Today I actually sat down and watched them go play. They were really they were really in trouble. They were really getting exposed. The Sanchez had to pull out some amazing saves. And so at some point, you would say Crystal Palace were not really finishing the chances so well, but they were in trouble. The only thing that they need to do is to make sure that maybe they get a better player next to that Caicedo guy. Because as much as people have been really saying that he's one of the best, he's par and par with Gravenberch, I get it, you have been saying it. He needs somebody next to him who can actually help him in defense, because he's getting exposed next to Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez is one of the best players going forward, but not defense. Now you understand why Mauricio Pochettino was playing Enzo Fernandez as the number 10, Kopama on that other side, then putting on Conor Gallagher on the side, because he knew that Caicedo, as much as he's good, he can get exposed easily. And they needed that. And I just wonder what's going to happen here now, because they've dropped points, 4 games now, no win, 2 draws, and we are asking questions. You wanted to be in the big boy shoes. You wanted to talk about being in the title race. You wanted to talk about being in the top 4 race. If you are not going to answer those questions, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Remember, I need to remind you something. And this is really important, and you have to pay attention to this. I need to remind you something. Nottingham Forest, if you look on the team, Nottingham Forest, if you look at where they're standing, they're number 3. Number 3. And every single time and time again, they're showing something. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. We'll see you on another one. Peace out.